Well, hello again, Year 7s, and welcome to yet another mathematical adventure. This one should be a quick one, hopefully, though. I am feeling a little bit crook today, a little bit of sniffles and a cough. So excuse me if I'm coughing and sneezing a little bit on the way through this video. Anyway, hopefully we'll get this one done really, really quickly. All right, so as you can see here, we are starting to look at probability, and in particular exercise 8G, describing chance. All right, so how we describe probability and how we describe chance. So often, just reading this little section, often there are times when you may wish to describe how likely it is that an event will occur. For example, you may want to know how likely it is that it will rain tomorrow, or how likely your sporting team will win the premiership. Which is a little bit relevant at the moment as we go through our AFL finals, or how likely it is that you'll win a lottery. So when we talk about probability, we are talking about chance. So we've got a couple of things here, and those are just off the internet about defining chance or defining probability, which is basically the possibility of something happening. All right, so there's a chance of winning a raffle, or there is a chance of winning a premiership, or the other one is the extent to which something is likely to happen, or the chance, or likelihood, or odds, or possibility to which something is likely to happen. So when we talk about probability, that's what we're talking about, the likelihood or chance or the odds or possibility of a particular event actually taking place and happening. All right. Now we can describe probability or chance in a number of ways. We can do it using words, as you can see here. Okay, likely, even chance, unlikely, and possible. All right, and it is a scale. Okay, and you need to complete this scale on your note-taking sheet, but it can go from obviously um, more likely to less likely, as you can see here. Okay, more likely to less likely, with at the top end of that range being that it's certain, it's 100% chance of it happening, right down to 0%. It's impossible. All right. Now, as you can see, as I said, you can describe chance in words as we have here. We can also do it as a percentage. Okay, as you can see here, from 0% to 100%, and everything in between can apply there, where 50% is your even chance of an event happening or not happening. We can also, usually when you describe, or not usually, but another way you can describe probability and chance is through decimal numbers as well. So from 0 to 1, basically. All right, so 50%, what decimal is going to be 50%? Hopefully you all clued in that one really quickly. 0.5. Okay, something that's likely to happen might be around 0.75. Something that's unlikely to happen might be around 0.25. All right, I bet you've got a whole range in between that. Okay, so they're basically the three ways that you can describe chance, either through words like this, through percentage. Actually, there is another way which you will be doing. Actually, the main way you'll be doing decimal, and the last way is through fractions as well. All right, we'll get to that in the next couple of exercises. You'll be looking at fractions, but fractions is the other way that you can obviously display your answers with probability or possibility or chance of something happening. Saying a lot today. But yeah, they're the ways, but we'll be focusing on fractions in the next couple of exercises. Just be aware, as we've done work before, you can change from percentage to decimals to fractions and fractions to decimals to percentage. So that can, yeah, they're all interchangeable at the end of the day. All right. All right, so that's all I'm going to say on this. So like I said, this should be a really quick video. So what I want you to do now is go through these examples and using these terms. Actually, you don't need to do that. It is just saying whether these are true or false. So I'm going to pause this now. I want you to go off and do this one on your own really quickly and then come back and we'll have a look and see how correct you are, which I'm sure you will be. All right, crew. So let's have a look. So classify each one of the following statements as either true or false. So it is likely that children will go to school next year. Well, generally that will be true. You could almost say that is certain, but you never know. There could be something happen that results in children not going to school. So countries overseas, for instance, may be involved in conflict or war might start or something like that, which means that yeah, children may not go to school, but it is likely that children will go to school next year. That should be true. Um, it is an even chance for a fair coin to display tails. So a fair coin just being a coin that has one side heads, one side tails, even chance, 50-50. That one would also be true. Okay. Rolling a 3 on a six-sided die and getting a heads on a coin are equally likely. Well, what's the chance of getting a heads on a coin? Well, that's a 50-50 chance. But what's the chance of rolling a 3? How many 3s are on a six-sided die? Well, there's only one, so there's really only 1 out of 6 chances. So they are not equally likely. So that would be a false. All right, so there are two possible outcomes on a coin, heads or tails. So it's 50-50 chance of getting a heads. But on rolling a die, there's only 1 3 and there's 6 other, or 5 other numbers, so 6 numbers all up. So there's only 1 of 6 chance. That's not even. So these are not equally likely. And the last one, it is certain that 2 randomly chosen odd numbers will add to an even number. Well, do your maths on that one. That is always true. You take any 2 odd numbers, you add them together, you're always going to get an even number. All right, so that's pretty easy. All right. One last thing I want to talk about, because I'm going to leave you with a little bit of an exercise to do, using Hot Maths for a bit of homework, and I will check it. But part of that involves you having an understanding. I will cover this again in the next video, but sample space. Okay, so when we talk about sample space, the sample space is basically the set of all possible outcomes of an experiment. All right, or all possible outcomes that could occur from a particular event. So the sample space for flipping a coin, for instance, and we do some little squiggly brackets when we do this. So the sample space for flipping a coin is either a heads or a tail. Okay, and that's a sample space. That's all it is. So it's just listing all the possible outcomes that could happen for a particular type of event or something happening, for instance. All right. The sample space for rolling a die. Well, what are our outcomes for rolling a die? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma, and 6 is our sample space for rolling a die. Okay. On the activity I'm going to get you to do, though, I think it'll only ask you to list what the number of sample space there is. So, for instance, the activity, when it asks you for the sample space for flipping a coin, you won't be able to put in heads or tails, but you just have to put the 2. Okay, there's 2 outcomes. Or the sample space for rolling a die, you'll need to write a 6. It won't give you room to write all of the 6 numbers, but you just need to write 6. There's 6 possible outcomes. The sample space for drawing a suit, so a particular suit, so your spades, your clubs, your diamonds, your hearts from a deck of cards. Okay, again, so you do our little squiggly brackets, and you would write, I don't know if I'm going to have enough room here, so I'm going to abbreviate hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. Okay, and same thing on that activity, there are 4 possible outcomes or 4 possible sample space, I suppose, for that particular event. So you'd write 4 for that one. All right. Okay, so that's sample space. So what I want you to do now is get onto your Hot Maths here. Okay, get onto the My Text part. You need to go down to chapter 8 that we've been working from. Go down to 8G describing chance. Okay, once we get onto that one, yes, it is working. We're going to click on resources. I just want you to have a go at this chance number line. Okay, just a couple of minutes, not too long, not too stressful. So all you're doing is it gives you a statement at the top. You've got to choose which of these descriptions represent that statement, and then you check it. So a girl tops a maths exam at an all-boys school. Well, it's an all-boys school, so there's no girls, so that one's got to be impossible, I would have thought. Check it. Well done. Go me. Then you click new and you give you a new one. All right, so I want you to have a bit of a go at that one. Okay, so I want you to spend a few minutes on that. I want you to go through to here, and I want you to have a go at either quiz 1 or quiz 2. Doesn't matter. Challenge yourself, do quiz 2. See how you go. If you're finding that a bit difficult, drop back to quiz 1. But I want you to have a go at those 2 as well, please. All right. Okay, that is it. So that is describing chance. We're going to get moving on to, once you've done that, spend a little bit of time on that in class, not a heap of time, but we're going to move on to theoretical and experimental probability. All right, get that done, and I'll see you in class. Bye-bye.